This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No. Always live. Always real. Always unpredictable.
I'm not okay with that.
It sounded good when I thought.
Log on and join our live conversation.
Yes, I don't like
right.
that.
You're 100% right. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Friday, September 9th. It's Friday. Woo!
Yes.
Take a moment.
Come on, be excited with
It's
your voice now.
a Friday.
There we go. There we go.
Thank you, everyone. Not as good as Erica, but I'm trying. I am here with Stephanie, Al, Brandon. I'm Sam. No, I'm Tori. Sam, good morning.
Yes, you are.
Let's get right to it. Now, we begin with fierce speculation right now that the president may replace Vice President Mike Pence heading into the 2020 election. Now, there have been reports of mounting tensions behind the scenes, plus new rumors that Ivanka Trump and her husband, Jared Kushner, are pressing Trump to replace Pence with a female running mate. They believe that's the way to win back the suburbs in 2020. Now, one of the names being floated is former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. She recently tweeted out of the blue, by the way, that she'd never replace Pence on the ticket. So let's unpack this one step at a time. I just want to go around the horn and say, do you guys think Pence will remain on the ticket if Trump runs again? In terms of just feeling, speculation.
Go ahead. I think so, because if you look at the exit polls from 2016, white evangelical Christians voted Trump over Hillary Clinton, 81 to 16%. That's the Pence factor, I feel like.
You think that was Pence that did that?
Yeah, because if you look at the Bible Belt and you look at those states, I mean, Donald Trump, he can say that he's Christian, he can say that he's Protestant, whatever. No one believes that. It's all about Mike Pence saying that he's Christian, he's conservative, he's Republican, in that order.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think that those people are just single-issue voters, and it could have been, a goldfish floating there, as long as they said that they were anti-abortion? They would have voted for that. I mean, there's a lot of single-issue voters, and if you go through and you just get the people that are pro-gun and you get the people that are just anti-abortion, that's already most of your voting populace. That's kind of how the Republicans have done it.
I would hypothesize that the evangelicals are already with Trump. He already got them. What he needs is what I call the Rust Belt, right? That Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Ohio, the moms, they switched from Obama to Trump, and that is what got Trump elected. So I think he should go for a woman. Now, I don't think Nikki Haley would do it, but I think she might run against him.
As a woman, Stephanie, would you, like, if you were a mother, would you vote for Donald Trump?
I would want to see a woman, but one thing I don't think we'll see Ivanka, because I think the days of political dynasties are over. So we've seen it with the Kennedys, we've seen it with the Bushes. In England, we've got rid of that a long time ago.
Except for the monarchy.
But they don't have the same political power.
True. They don't have that power at all.
So I think it's not going to happen.
I don't think
Although I would like it to happen.
Right. I think you need a Pennsylvania soccer mom type feeling. So we'll see. Write us in if you guys think it'll be Nikki, if it'll be Ivanka, or do you think he should make the switch?
Could you legally run? You're the legal eagle, and I genuinely want to ask you this question in the meeting. Could Ivanka run, or isn't that like an oligarchy?
No, you can run. She can run. She won't win.
But isn't it illegal to have one family in control of everything? And then how the Philippines works? And like
why we left London in the first place? Yes, but there's no constitutional reason in which you couldn't effectively have her on the ticket. It would not be smart, because they don't need the New York socialite. They need that mom who really feels strongly about those single issue voting. I believe. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes. I didn't know that you could have your brother as like an ambassador and your mom.
Robert Kennedy was in the cabinet for John F. Kennedy. Interesting. Right. Where am I? Here we are. Right now, Hurricane Dorian is making landfall in North. Okay, as we're learning more about the devastating situation in the Bahamas, let's get right to Kelly Schubert with the latest. Kelly?
Tori, right now the hurricane is hitting North Carolina and thousands of people are without power. Here's a live look at the slow-moving Category 1 hurricane right now, which has sustained winds of around 90 miles an hour. But the big story today is in the Bahamas, where we're learning more about the shocking devastation there. Now, officials say at least 30 people are dead, but they say there are hundreds, maybe thousands, still missing right now. And even more disturbing, reports coming in from the BBC that people are so desperate for food and water, they're trying to shoot each other for supplies. Tori, I'll let you know if I get any new information on this developing story.
This is like real life Lord of the Flies.
I was just going to say Lord of the Flies. And I know Bethany Frankel said she's in the phase where people are texting her and tweeting her coordinates to try and get them to save them. They're on like rooftops.
And just to explain why Bethany Frankel, for people that don't know what she's done.
Right, so she was a Real Housewife, and she's got an air tanker, and she's raised over $500,000, and she's the one on the ground really doing something.
Let me just say, I've seen this firsthand as somebody that's been through 3 hurricanes. One I was not prepared for because it was right when I moved to South Florida. I don't think people realize, because we sit here in our air conditioning.
Exactly.
And we sit here and we're like, oh, Brandon, good to talk to you. And, hey, Steph, how you doing? Let Brandon miss 4 meals. And we'll see how stuff starts going down. Everybody thinks, oh, that's another country and they don't know how to act.
No,
I've seen Americans fist fighting at the gas station 12 hours after the power goes off. So we're going to see soon all these climate deniers and all these people that say, we'll see when the lights go off.
Wow.
We'll see when the cops stop answering 911. We'll see then.
Wow. Well,
Man,
interesting.
That was real.
Yeah, it was. Well, we're hearing from crew members aboard the deadly dive boat, which was consumed by fire off the California coast over Labor Day. Now, of the 39 people on board, only 5 crew members were found alive, including the captain. Here's what the owner of the boat told reporters.
Captain Jerry remained on the boat as long as he possibly could, trying to get those radio calls in. They said that they could see Jerry jump from the upper deck, a long jump, and that there was a trail of smoke following him. They thought he was on fire.
The owners of the boat company have reportedly filed a lawsuit to limit the amount of money victims' families can get, while investigators continue to search for what caused the fire. Yeah. I've got to be honest with you, this rings weird to me. I don't know if this is just speculation, but apparently both exits were just completely blocked off by fire. And we don't know what caused it. There's some speculation it could have been cell phone, but again, that hasn't been confirmed. But there's only 2 ways out. This seems bizarre to me.
And I was reading up on the preliminary investigation has said that has raised safety concerns, saying that there were no night watchmen who were supposed to be up to alarm passengers if something were to happen, and that the passengers weren't given any sort of safety protocol just in case something did happen. And I think about it, Al, because we fly all the time. Let's say we're sitting in the exit row. I'm always upset or annoyed when a flight attendant comes over, sir, can you take off your headphones so you can listen to the verbal yes for the protocol. That may have saved someone's life to know, like, hey, okay, these 2 are blocked off, but there could have been a hatch somewhere. There could have been something else. These are still hypotheticals, but at the same time, I don't know. They may be liable for
I'm a little worried. For you, you have dived, you've been on dive boats before. Is there extensive safety precautions you go through first?
Great question.
Usually, yes, because obviously when you're going out on a dive boat, you're putting not only yourself, but everyone on that boat's lives in danger.
Right.
Because
Can you tell our viewers what a dive boat is?
Please.
Scuba diving boat.
It's a scuba diving boat. So you'll be going out there with lots of different canisters of oxygen and medical supplies. So for me, this is what makes this even more tragic, that it should be the most well-equipped in emergency situations. What's really sad here is that they're saying that the families of the victims that have sadly passed away might not get the right amount of compensation that's deserved. That to me is ludicrous. But we still are yet to have all the facts and information. Like Tori said, apparently one of the fires could have been sparked from charging someone's phone, which leads me to think that that vessel has not been properly maintained, which is a big problem.
Negligence. That's very interesting.
And this is like a no-frills boat, right? This is just for divers.
This is literally like the basic of the basic, with only literally the key, court, medical, and health supply. So it's very tragic.
Well, we're thinking about them. An American Airlines mechanic has been arrested for sabotage. Get this. The man is accused of disabling a navigation system on a flight with 150 people on board before it was scheduled to take off in Miami. Now, according to the complaint, the mechanic was upset over a labor dispute. Thankfully, no one was injured. I got some more information. Get this. The airline was in Miami, Al, ready to take off. The pilot literally was doing this, and it was about to take off, and then the sensor noticed that he had something wrong. And again, he had put some foam with some super glue over a sensor so that he could work overtime to fix it. But had they not fixed it, they would have been up in the air with 150 people.
And he's trying to say that he rigged it so they knew. Like, they would know that there's a system that goes off to know not to take off, and therefore he would be the one to go and fix it. I think this is an act of terrorism. I'm sorry. This could have been a mass. This could have been mass homicide.
I don't know if that's a crazy statement.
This could have been a mass homicide. This is the same as going in with the AR-15 and just shooting up 150 people. Because there's 150 people on that plane at that time.
But does it matter to you guys that his intent wasn't to kill those people?
It doesn't matter.
Does that matter?
I think this is a public method of transport where people. 150 people's lives were in danger. This wasn't a plane that was in the hangar that was getting work that maybe, I don't know, it needed a lot of different things.
That's what I thought was happening when I first heard the story.
On the ground. It was the pilot was in the seat. They were taking off, and he used foam and super glue, which puts 150 people's lives in danger. He should be in prison.
Yeah, I assume he will be charged with terrorism.
For overtime. That's American greed at its finest. Overtime. Go drive Uber. There's other people who have 3, 4 jobs.
Or go through your union, which you should do with your labor dispute.
That's American greed is just, it's appalling from time to time.
You know what else is appalling?
What's that?
The Loch Ness Monster. After years and years of speculation and fierce debate, we are closer than ever to the truth about the Loch Ness Monster. Now, a new study examining millions of DNA samples from across the water has some surprising results, including a potential answer to the question that has plagued generations. Watch.
There's an awful lot of eel DNA in Loch Ness. Could there be a giant eel? Well, we know there are mutations that make things much larger than normal.
I don't like seeing
Tori
that.
can't look.
I don't like underwater creatures.
Can I just put this to bed right now? This is a hoax. 1993, Christian Sperling came out and admitted that he rigged up a dinosaur dummy in a toy submarine, and they took pictures of this to make the media go to mass hysteria.
So then why are we still following this one stupid picture out? Why are we obsessed?
This is not fake. I refuse to believe it.
Go
Wait,
find
are you a Nessie?
Okay, so I'm a big fan of all the conspiracy theories. You know, I love aliens at Area 51.
Are you a Bigfoot girl?
I believe there could be a Bigfoot. So apparently, people were saying it could have been, okay, I hope I'm saying this right, a plesiosaur?
We don't know what's right. So
which was a dinosaur that looked like the Loch Ness Monster.
Someone already admitted to it being a hoax.
Stephanie,
I think Elvis could even still be alive.
Let her believe me.
Tupac's alive too then.
Cut it.
Elvis is alive.
DBL is alive. We are. And coming up, a teenager sets out to help others while dealing with her own health battle. We'll tell you about the invention that she came up with that's making a huge difference. And you, the viewer, you guys are our 5th host. A Citigroup's decision to declare the NRA a domestic terrorist organization has people taking sides. So what do you think? We'll share your comments coming up next.
Sorry guys, gotta unplug. Hey, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL digital team. Happy Friday. We are happy to have you guys with us here today on Daily Blast Live. A lot of good conversations, including that 5th host. So please send us what you think of that. Give us your DBL take. Let's go to the desk and see what the hosts are chatting about.
Can we bring it over here? Bring it over here.
The printer's misbehaving, so these are my blue cards.
So today's a wacky day here at DBL because the printer is misbehaving, and then Raji Noah Wilkes says that's an act of terrorism. Brandon was actually correct for once. Wacky day at DBL if Brandon is correct.
That's really
unreal.
By the way,
I just want to run around the studio now because
Nishi just
I was correct for once.
Nishi Huhu wrote you. My pal saw the elusive man beast. I can only assume they're talking about the Bigfoot. He says he scared the bejesus out of him. I didn't believe it before. Is there any conspiracy theory that you absolutely don't believe in?
Give me some examples.
Okay. Do you believe in the moon landing?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
That seems questionable.
I don't want to say no, but I don't know. I don't think Elvis is alive, and I don't think Tupac's alive.
Do you think that we
Tupac lives in Cuba.
I don't think that's true.
He lives in Cuba.
Big. People would have found him out.
I feel like people would have noticed in Cuba if you were there.
His name is Dos Pac.
Dos Pac. What do you think about the Kennedy assassination? Oh, she's doing something else.
The one in Dallas.
I heard that I was watching, I saw a thing on Joe Rogan, like a former CIA guy, and he said the only conspiracy theories that he thinks are possibly true are the Kennedy and MLK assassinations, because I guess, who's the guy that killed MLK? What's his name? John
Well, they're best friends, so they're literally like the best of
whatever.
Lincoln,
whatever. He was like a 2-bit criminal, and like,
Yeah.
they were like,
The
there's no way
government
that
set
he
it
would
up.
have been
Yeah,
able to. He went from like stealing persons to like it was just like.
A lot of people think Lee Harvey Oswald was set up, and remember, he was shot before ever going to court to speak by Jack Ruby.
And a lot of people equated that to.
Yeah, and then it just came right down.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. This one is a spicy one. San Francisco has declared the NRA a terrorist organization, and it wants other cities to follow suit. City officials say that the NRA spreads propaganda and arms people who are committing acts of terrorism. But gun rights activists have responded, saying it's a charitable organization protecting our constitutional rights. Whew, it's a big one. So DBL Nation.
I think we're going to solve this in Fifth Host.
It'll be done by the end of this segment.
Yes.
Do you consider the NRA a terrorist organization? Hit it, Brandon.
All right, let's get to it. Barb from Facebook says, this is nonsense. ISIS is a terrorist group, not the NRA. Just because you don't like them doesn't mean that you can just call them terrorists. I agree with you, Barb, because if we're going to call the NRA a terrorist group, we got to call Big Pharma a terrorist group. We got to call the tobacco companies a terrorist group because, I mean, they're promoting harm or they're violence in a way. So words can mean a lot, and I think that the NRA is a lot of things, but maybe not a terrorist group.
Interesting.
All right, Daylin, I like that name.
It is good.
Makes me, I just want to like sit on a porch with Daylin and
have
drink some homemade lemonade and just like
Not
watch a
some
car go
sweet
by
tea.
every 40 minutes.
Right.
Sorry. Daylin from Facebook said, I'm happy with this. Maybe the NRA will now do more to promote responsible gun ownership. Who needs an assault rifle in their home, grocery store, or a school? Terrorist, Daylin. It's just like the word terrorist. It's so interesting when we decide to use it and when we don't. Never heard that associated with Dylan Roof. Haven't really heard it with the El Paso shooters until almost, for lack of a better word, our president was forced at gunpoint to use it. We just won't use it except for certain organizations, and then we hear, you know.
Selective here.
Yes, if the NRA did the same thing as like a terrorist cell in terms of openly having people say manifestos and then go out and execute those manifestos, I think we'd be talking about them a lot differently. But instead, they're just a bunch of guys that like to shoot cans. I don't know about that, bro. I've been watching the news.
Interesting.
Chad from Facebook says, I would call anyone who is trying to take our Second Amendment rights away terrorists before the NRA.
Oh, talking to you, Tori.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. You know, so people who support the Second Amendment, that are people that do have guns, are not terrorists. So therefore, I'd have to say that that's what this is suggesting by saying that the NRA are too. Do I agree with some of the things they do and that the fact they're so deep in politicians' pockets, which influences all of us in our lives here in America? No, I don't think that's right, but I wouldn't say that they are a terroristic group.
Interesting. Wow. It's surprising. JC from Facebook says, well, regardless, it's pretty close. Interesting. It's close, but it's not. And it is highly unconstitutional to call the NRA a terrorist organization, in my opinion. You are saying that the government, San Francisco, is telling a group of citizens, because of their politics that they don't like, that they can't do certain things. That is highly against the First Amendment. I may always debate with you, but I will never call you a terrorist organization. That's the truth.
Wow, you're real on that one, Tori.
Well, it's a very surprising thing to take, but as you said, words matter. And when you say that's close, it is close, but it's not the right answer. You got to be specific. You know what I mean? All right. After facing criticism for flying on a private jet, Meghan Markle is flying commercial to support her friend Raquel Villanueva. Tell us about the details.
Well, Tori, the Duchess of Sussex boarded a commercial flight to New York City today to watch Serena Williams play in the final of the U.S. Open. Meghan Markle's weekend trip is a solo one. Prince Harry and son Archie will stay at home, and it's the first time flying after being criticized for taking a private jet with her family. Her husband maintains it was for their safety. Meghan also faced backlash last time she watched one of Serena's matches when she asked for no pictures to be taken of her at Wimbledon. Now, there's no word on what the protocol will be this time. Serena Williams will face Bianca Andreescu tomorrow.
So what
British girl, tell us everything.
So what we need to remember is Serena and Meghan are very, very good friends, best friends in fact. So I think it's a really nice thing that Meghan's going to go and support her. And of course, I don't think she has any option other than flying commercial right now.
Because of the feedback?
Because of the backlash that she's had from the Elton John flight that she took over.
Yeah, you are not.
I don't like that celebrities have to act like they're regular people.
Especially a royal.
That really bothers me. Like, oh, we're all just hanging out. No, she's Meghan Markle. She gets extra stuff. You know why? Because you guys all decided that. You decided to put her up in a palace. You decided to give her all these jewels, and now she's got to be on value jet. That's ridiculous. You guys are ridiculous.
Coming up on DBL, we'll introduce you to a bright 13-year-old who's not letting type 1 diabetes stop her from achieving greatness. How her school project turned into an invention that can help others like her in today's amazing Heart Threads.
Walking like your back's hurt.
What?
You're walking like your back's hurt.
Yeah, it is. Hey guys, so TBL.
Tory Blast Live, taking over for the 99 and 2000s. What song did that come from?
But I'm going to it.
Cash Money Records.
Cash Money Records, of course.
Taking
over for the
99
and 2000s. That was what I was gonna say.
Juvenile.
Do the back that thing up.
Yeah.
It was there.
I don't know if that's our audience song. Yeah. Our audience likes
Come on now.
Back That Thing Up. Come
Do
on,
you like
guys
that
like to
song
have a
now?
good time.
Back That Thing
It's a
Up?
Friday. You think our audience listens to Juvenile Back That Thing Up? You think they're fans of
Yeah,
that?
the song is 23 years old.
It's so old, right?
Yeah.
It's a demographic, right?
Stephen George agrees, prefer Meghan flying private. She will need extra protection. Who cares what people think? I can't believe she did it.
But the thing is,
She bent
I don't
to.
understand. Do you expect Alex Rodriguez to fly?
No.
Why?
I can't believe she went. She did
So then
it.
if she can't, then
She
nobody
bent to
can.
the pressure. I wish she had it.
Crazy, right?
She shouldn't.
No, she's
wish
she's
she
under
had
the
it.
scrutiny for a lot of stuff.
But if you don't address it, if you
It
just
goes
act like-
away.
If you, I wouldn't have Twitter. I would just like literally just walk around like I don't know. Whatever you're saying, it's down there. I'm
Yeah.
up here above the clouds.
I agree.
That's crazy. I can't believe she's flying commercial because she.
I don't understand why. Why didn't you do it all at once?
Welcome back to DBL. Now today's Hard Threads is all about a teenager who invented a health device to help others like her. Watch how she's not letting type 1 diabetes stand in the way of making a difference.
This 13-year-old invented a device that has not only helped her, but also has the potential to help others. Morgan La Rochelle was devastated when she was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Her science teacher challenged students to solve a real-world problem. She decided to use the opportunity to address her medical condition, so she created the blood glucose test strip dispenser.
There is a hole on each side of the device, and you put the slider through one of the holes, and you push the test strip out, and then you put it right into the glucometer.
Using the device instead of possibly dirty fingers reduces the risk of an inaccurate glucose reading. Morgan even won second place among 8th graders at the National Invention Convention.
Maybe this is my chance to make a difference, because I've been telling my parents since I was like 4. I've always wanted to make a difference.
She won second place for an invention like that? I'll demand a recount. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Okay, upon first looks, its appearance is appealing. It looks like it could have come out of a very cute European bakery for everyone at home. This looks like something we could definitely buy at a bakery, so that looks good. I'm gonna break it in half to see what this white liquid is. It smells quite sweet. Doesn't smell bad. Okay. Oh, I like that. That's good, actually. It could have, to improve, I actually feel as though there could be more of the white stuff. I feel like it's very, oh, there we go. God heard my cry and answered. The white stuff is where it's at. I'm gonna give this a strong, you know, I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10 actually, because I would eat this. This is something I would keep at like work, you know, in my drawer. When I get a bit peckish and I'll fancy a cup of tea, instead of dipping a biscuit in, Brits, you can dip and dunk one of these and your afternoon is complete. So over and out from me and Mr. Twinkie, I'll leave you with this beautiful visual.
Welcome back to DBL. We love your comments. So, Al, comments?
All right.
That was weird.
Boy, do we have them.
Do you not have them ready?
I do. How do we sit here the entire time and I'm like, wait a second.
They're not ready.
I'm supposed to be doing something. Okay. This comment, Tori, this is for you. Not going to have the same question. It says, Tori, can you have a ticket with Trump and a Democratic running mate?
Oh, that's interesting.
That would be the biggest bipartisan ticket ever.
That's so true. So, great question. The answer is yes. Andrew Johnson actually ran with Abraham Lincoln, and they were two different parties. But it is preferred to run with the same party.
Trump Beto?
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen. But again, McCain was interested in maybe working with Biden if he hadn't passed away. So there's an interesting that it can do that, but it's preferred not to.
Is there somebody that's that bipartisan still alive anymore?
I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah. I think we both know the answer.
I think the answer is no. All
Absolutely
right.
not.
Write in if you guys know of one. We'll see you Monday, same time.
Great job today,
same
Tori.
place. Thanks, man.
Hey.
Happy Friday, y'all. Be good to each other.